racing continues. Before the concert gets started here at Hidden Valley, this is the Crown Bet Darwin Triple Crown. We've got Triple Crown of races left. We'll have the Aussie racing cars, got some Touring Car Masters and Carrera Cup, their last races of the weekend to come up. And we'll kick it off right now with the little Aussie racing cars. Have been putting on a great show all weekend long, and they'll line up for their final race like this. Trent Young and Ben Walsh. Ben Walsh has been very quick this weekend. Had a plug lead come off in that third race. Okay. Is what it was. Alex Cole Clues, P3, James Duckworth, P4. The front row being given restrictors for this final race as well, so it's going to really bring them back. Who knows, the rules and regs with Aussie racing cars can be a little bit up and down at times. Sam Milton picked up a win in the third race, so he'll start in P12. Reece Chapman out of the outside of row 12. Glenn McNamara, Brad Eastman. Lee Bowler won't be taking the start of this one. Oh, sorry, Ruth Bowler won't be taking the start of this one as she broke her car yesterday. Same goes Dave Sultana. It's been a few tales of woe. We've got a few onboards to watch out for as well, including that one of Adam Ubergang.
The craziest helmet here in Darwin at the moment.
There's also one getting around in improved prod, which is painted like Chewbacca. To get up here in the top end. So yeah, restrictors added to the front row. It's all that entertainment with this category, and you've got to love that. They just want to make sure that they're putting on a good race for the crowd. And it's kind of the way the Aussies roll. So hopefully we get treated to something like that right now. Onboards including Brendan Pingle as well as Adam Ubergang. He's got an onboard in the car in front of him, and it's very dirty on the left-hand side of the racetrack.
Yeah, not where you want to start, but a couple of fast guys down towards the back of the top 10. Brendan Pingle has been pretty competitive this weekend, spectacular as well. Paul Morris did well in that last race to get up inside the top 10. I think he finished 4th or something in that race, so he's starting 8th. So we'll always, as usual, keep an eye on him for a bit of action.
You've got one more race left this weekend in Carrera Cup, and you're on the front row.
Yeah, I threw the last race away. Luckily, made a good comeback after dropping off the road at the restart from 8th, got back up to 2nd, so nearly made amends there, but obviously want to try and finish the weekend out front. So car's going really well, and just got to try and keep it mistake-free, hopefully get a good start. I think we're fast enough. If we get out in front, I think we're fast enough to do the job. Ben Walsh will be hoping to do the same thing here. He was, yeah, that was very, I mean, he had a great drive there from the back of the grid, not only the back of the grid, but with the handicap built in to get up into the top 10 before his engine drama. But green flag.
Yellow flag at the back. I reckon one of the drivers has been waving.
Something going on down the back there.
Will they abort the start? No.
Red lights are still on.
And that's why we've got two drivers stuck right behind each other, right up against the fence there.
Oh, that's weird, but Ben Walsh getting a very good start. Is it good enough to get in front of Trent Young?
Oh, it's so dirty down there.
Trent Young gets the bit of a side draft, and he'll lead into turn 1. Cole Clues trying to get up the inside of Ben Walsh. They'll go side by side through turn 1. A little bit of contact in that top 5. They'll get through.
Good effort.
Paul Morris there in the Scott Taylor motorsport car. Looks like he might have, no, he dropped a spot. I thought he'd made up a spot. Adam Ubergang getting past him. And Ben Walsh looking up the inside. Got up the inside of Cole Clues there at turn 5. He's right on Trent Young's rear bumper, and he'll have a look.
Oh, good move at
More
6.
than a look, but he's going to run wide. Can he turn it? Good try.
These things turn on a dime, and he falls back into 2nd position. So nice work, Alex. We're off and running in this one. Exciting start. Must be so difficult driving on the dirty stuff as we go on board with Pingle as he gives Ubergang a bit of a tap.
Contact. Oh, another one. Oh, this is dodgy. What's going on?
Little safety car here.
Safety car.
I imagine we never got that car off the grid, would be my guess.
There's a ute driving down the back part of the circuit. I can see out the window here.
And that's why. There we go. So one of the Mustangs got stuck there at the beginning. Is that Wilcox maybe who was stuck down there? So we'll have 31 cars potentially taking the restart. Bit of a shame.
But Ben Walsh not looking any slower. He's all over Trent Young there. So here we go. What happened there?
That's going to be so frustrating. I think that was Grant Thompson tucked up behind him.
The green Mustang, though, is just stuck there. Because do they have reverse, these cars? I think they have a little electric motor, don't they?
It's like a button that you got to press in the door to get it backwards. But
weird.
He should have seen that maybe he was waving his arms in front of him and been able to get around him. Maybe he was just trying to give him a push start. I don't know. Either way, he did get around him in the end.
Lucky it wasn't an accident anyway, but very difficult sitting in the racing car, whether it's a tiny little Aussie racing car or a big V8 supercar. Look how big that Toyota Hilux looks compared to these guys, little cars. Very hard to see what's going on. We can see a lot more, obviously, from up in the commentary box than you can from the driver's seat. And that's everyone's worst fear, a stalled car on the grid. Often you don't see it till the last second, and obviously we've seen lots of big accidents over the years. But
shame for Wilcox to have that long wait for the final race of the day. You ramped up, you've got the TV audience on Fox Sports, all the people sticking around, and you don't get off the start line.
yeah, I wonder what's happened to his little car there.
Frustrating stuff. So this should be a very quick safety car. Lexus is pacing the field very slowly to make sure that we've got that racetrack clear. Wouldn't be surprised if we get back to racing this lap, Alex.
No reason why not, so we'll wait. I'm sure we'll see those lights turn off very soon. Normally around turn 7 they switch them off, out of turn 6 into turn 7.
Not allowed to overlap on restarts with these guys, unlike with the supercars where you can get that bit of a jump off the last corner. Riding on board with Adam Ubergang, sitting in P9 behind Paul the Dude Morris. I wonder how he got that nickname. There's got to be a story behind that one.
I'm sure he could tell you.
So it's Trent Young leading from Ben Walsh. The two guys that are carrying restrictors started first and second. So they shared that front row and they're holding on to that. Good to see a lot of representation from Team Navy here this week. And I know they're a sponsor of Chaz Mostert, but they're also with Kel Tressiter, the blue and white little Mustang that's coming through here. There he is, number 75. He's a KZ2 kart racer turned Aussie racing car star. He said he's a little bit nervous about having Paul Morris behind him.
They're probably a little bit similar to drive, these things. Obviously,
well, two-wide restart here as well, so this should be exciting.
KZ2, very, very quick, obviously without the suspension, but I suspect the technique would be very similar. Two-wide restart.
This is cool.
Be looking for the green flag.
Well, Brad Eastman on his way out with...
He's missing some bits.
Yeah, one fairly obvious bit at the front. Here we go. I love double file restarts. I'm not backwards and coming forwards when I say that it would be great to see them in the supercars. Obvious reasons
they were terrible with the supercar. They were
work.
Scary when you're in the pack. There was nothing worse than those double file restarts.
But we're going to go racing here, and this could be absolute chaos at the first corner as we try and shoehorn 20 little Aussie racing cars into the first corner.
They did a very good job of keeping that restart clean there. No concertinas. And Young and Walsh side by side approaching the braking zone down at turn 1, but Kyle Clues wants to get in amongst it too.
5 wide nearly, and Duckworth will be the big winner. He swings around the outside. He's been waiting for a shot to lead, and he's got it now.
So Young and Walsh were leading first and second, and they got swallowed up into turn 1. Duckworth now in front, Kyle Clues in second. Walsh and Young still side by side on the approach to turn 5. Walsh will have the line here, but
he's got some work to do now, hasn't he?
He's got so much pace, and he's got 10 laps to try and get through Kyle Clues and Duckworth.
So Tressiter lost 1 or 2 spots as Young gets moved off the racing line by Woods. Little bit of a rub at the exit.
Good job, those two boys keeping their cars straight. That was looked like it was going to be a bit messy. Young, good heads-up driving, not turning in too hard over Woods when he stuck his nose in.
Here comes the dude.
Morris doing just that, sticking his nose in. Great clean move there into turn 10 and 11.
Ludby saw him coming.
So he's up to 6 now. That's as high as we've seen him running all weekend apart in a conventional race, apart from today's reverse gridder. So
this should be huge. Watch this. The front 3 here, Alex, are about to fan out.
Who's going to lead into turn 1? Put your money down now, quick.
Oh, we'll go Clues. Here he goes.
I'm saying Walsh somehow.
All right. It's Duckworth, Clues, Walsh, the front 3.
You could see the effect of Walsh's restrictor there, because he couldn't get a slipstream and do anything with those guys then. So
Clues does slip up the inside, Duckworth back to 3rd.
Walsh up to 2nd. So he doesn't have the power that he's had earlier in the weekend. You could see he didn't get that slipstream effect that we've been talking about.
This is the restart from Adam Ubergang's point of view.
This was the best double file restart I've ever seen, because there was no braking or anything. They all did a great job, and Ubergang through the middle.
Oh, does he pull it off?
I was very scared watching that.
Nearly does get up the inside of Tressiter, but that was cool. And
there's Pingle in front of him.
He'll be bragging about that for a few weeks, I think.
So Clue still in front, Walsh trying to find a way past, and Duckworth in 3rd. What's going to happen? I'm waiting to see what Walsh can do here with his smaller restrictors, a bit less power than he's had, but he's had such an advantage throughout this weekend. I suspect he's still going to have a pace advantage over these guys. Let's see what he can do. He's at the perfect distance behind Kyle Clues here to get a slipstream down the straight. Let's see if he can still get an advantage and pull out and do something.
Looking in the mirrors is the leader.
Look at that. He can't do anything. He's going to have to use all his skill and daring to try and outbreak Kyle Clues down to turn 1.
Which is exactly what he does.
That's what he does. Well done.
He's going in hot.
Still got a... Oh, does he run one? No. Great job. Very late braking to get up the inside and still held it tight. So very nice controlled move there. And he'll be hoping to do what he's done all weekend when he's got out in front and drive away.
On board now as we go side by side with Ludby and Pingle. Ludby's got the inside run at turn 5. And they give each other some nice room there.
Maybe some of the V8 boys have been watching too much Aussie racing cars and tried to go 3 wide through turn 2, 3, 4, which
really worked for him,
isn't possible in a full-size car like we saw in that last race. In an Aussie racing car, you can definitely do it.
So it's Walsh now at the front from Clues and Duckworth. Craig Woods in the Western Sydney Motorsport car 4th. Young, Morris, Pingle, Ludby back to Uber Gang as we are nearing the halfway point of their final race. We had 4 races here last year, Alex. I'll finish my point in a second as we just quickly look at this replay.
Somebody spin it. Turn 1 here.
All by myself down there, and Paul Brad Eastman nearly joins the party.
And Shivers, our pole sitter from today's earlier reverse grid race.
Let's just quickly see what's going to play out on the front straight.
Ben Walsh, half a second on that 1 lap. So he's doing what we anticipated.
Oh, no. Lee Bowler stuck in the fence.
Doesn't look like he's hit it too hard because we know the body panels go flying off pretty quickly as soon as...
Where is that?
I think on the exit of 7.
Oh,
it is.
Good
so
call.
He's only had light contact. Let's hope that little electric reverse motor
gets him out of there.
They must be a bit temperamental because we've seen a lot of cars get stuck on the track this weekend not being able to reverse.
So what I was saying earlier, we've had 4 races here last year. 3 out of the 4 were separated at the stripe by less than a second. So it goes to show that typically they're quite close, but we haven't been treated to a race quite that close yet this year. This is building though as Pingle just rattles the curb at the exit of 7.
Paul Morris doing a good job in front of Pingle there in 6th. Holding with the pack. He hasn't had the pace to go with the leaders so far this weekend, but he's found a bit of speed in that Scott Taylor Motorsport Mustang. And he's really, although not all over Trent Young, he's going with him. He's close enough to get a tow down the straight here. You can see him following Trent Young down the straight, trying to get that slipstream. Can Paul Morris get up into the top 5?
Walsh leads us by once again. 500ths of a second quicker on that lap. Then Clues, an identical lap time just about for James Duckworth.
So Kyle Clues holding that gap at half a second to Ben Walsh. You can see how much they pull him in down the straight, not only with his smaller restrictors, but the slipstreaming effect. And always...
Ooh, Emma Clark in an awkward spot now.
The road there. Looks also like it's on the exit of turn 7. I might be wrong.
Trying to get that thing fired up. The Ovarian Cancer Research Foundation number 15. It's an awkward spot to sit, so there'll be local yellows for the next corner that the leaders are approaching.
But what I was saying is Ben Walsh has got to work doubly as hard as some of the other guys he's racing against. Duckworth was the other one with the restrictors, wasn't he? Young, sorry. Young. So, but out in front, Ben Walsh has got to push extra hard through all the corners, make sure he can get a bit of a gap, because not only do they have bigger restrictors and more power, as a group of cars, as a group of 4 cars there, they're going to go quicker through the air than Ben Walsh can by himself, and it's exactly what we see in NASCAR. So he's like 1 second out in front now. Let's see what he is at the end of this first sector.
He's doing a really good job.
Absolutely.
That second is helping him break the toe of the guys behind him as the dude goes defensive. Pingle trying to force the point. Duckworth to the inside of Clues.
Pingle up the
underneath
inside
Young and
Morris.
Pingle.
Clean move. Morris squeezes him to the curb, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's nice and clean. Look at that, beautiful. Not much contact, just a tiny bit. Nice clean racing, but Ludby's now alongside Morris. They're going to go side by side through the flip-flop. And they'll try and outbreak each other into turn 5. Side by side again. Ludby sideways, so Morris is going to have the line into the hairpin. Good racing.
Nice racing, yeah, really good racing there.
Seeing nice clean racing.
This is what it looked like from Pingle's point of view. Top gear, top speed.
Waiting for him. I can't believe how late they break there. It just feels wrong.
Past the markers, past another marker.
Look at that. Nice and clean. Big ball in there. knocked on his open face in the Aussie racing cars, probably smartly.
Yeah.
With the full face on.
And he gets him back, so Pingle runs wide there. Has Pingle got a problem, maybe?
Looks like it.
He slowed down dramatically and lost 5 spots.
I don't know what he's doing. Do these have radios, these cars?
Yeah, you can communicate, but...
He was having a chat with someone, whether it was his pit crew or...
Well, it looks like he's just trying to collect points now as we cast our eye forward. Was that Woods moving in a second? So Woods the man on a charge here.
So Pingle sort of back up the speed at the back of that pack, it looks like, is it? Or not? Anyway, we'll wait and see what happens to Brendan Pingle.
He's dropped to 13th.
Dropped to 13th. He's dropped a long way back.
That's a real shame as we ride on board with Adam Ubergang.
Oh,
oof, that was tight, Duckworth.
That was scary.
Woods hanging on. So Woods has passed all these guys that we see on camera right now. He's been on an absolute charge. Could he be the guy to track down the leader who's 1.7 seconds up the road?
So Walsh is gone now. He's nearly 1.8 seconds in front. The first sector, Woods is as quick as him in second place. They both did 27.8, but I suspect we'll see in the next 2 sectors Walsh significantly faster, so 0.3 quicker than everybody else.
That shows you how close it is down the bottom, hey?
Yeah.
So that's the lap times, the last 4 laps between Walsh and Woods. So we got Ludby around. I missed the beginning of that one. I saw the end of it, and a good collection to get that car pointed back in the right direction. He was in a battle with Tressida and also Ubergang.
Was that Pingle at the back of that pack? And
yeah,
it's in the yellow and white it is, isn't it?
It's caught back up to them. Here we go.
So he's back.
These guys don't know which way to go here. Left, right, left, right. Around the outside goes Duckworth. Woods hangs tough on the racing line. We're hearing this will be the last lap now, so we did get a safety car, which explains the fact that this might go a little bit early.
Woods, Duckworth and Young, they'll all want that second place. Walsh has gone out in front. They've got no chance of catching him. He's 2 seconds up the road, but this battle for second will be as important as the win for these 3 guys. They've been battling all weekend over this second place spot. This group, Kyle Clues hanging back in 5th place, just watching what's going on. I'm sure he'll get amongst it if the opportunity presents itself.
If Trent Young can pick up 1 more spot here, he might even win the round. Because at the moment, timing is showing us that Ben Walsh and Trent Young are equal on points. So if Young can just pick up 1 more spot, it might be enough to send him to the podium, the top of the podium, mind you. Can he do it?
So what's going to happen at the last corner?
Go for it. Here he goes to the inside of Duckworth.
The inside.
Got it
both
done.
Run wide though. And Kyle Clues has come through and passed both of them. So Young with a great move, but it all meant nothing in the end because the position he made, he lost again. So Ben Walsh, I mean, he won, he dominated all weekend. Even with the smaller restrictors, he showed these guys a clean pair of heels.
Yeah,
so great weekend by Ben Walsh.
Pretty happy with himself too. Wins 3 out of 4 and wins the round courtesy of Kyle Clues at the last corner.
Yeah, I mean, Clues will be very happy with that last corner. He wasn't in a position to make an overtaking attempt himself, but he made 2 up just by hanging back and watching what was going on.
And that put Clues to 3rd for the round because of that. So Clues actually bought himself a podium by getting up the inside of 2 of them on the last corner. But it's Walsh who will rightfully win the round, deservingly so. We'll see how that all updates itself. It's got Walsh and Young in a tie for them.
Points,
but I imagine it will go to Walsh at the end of things here.
Yeah.
With the tie usually going to the guy who wins the last race. So Walsh from Woods, Kyle Clues, Trent Young, wrapping up what was a very exciting last race. We believe it should be Walsh, Young, Clues for the round.